Hey, Andrew here at SHOT 2020 with Augie from TNVC. They've got all kinds of new goodies this year. Let's take a look at them.
So what we've got here is a new product that we've developed in partnership with Steiner E-Optics. It's the Tor Mini IR Variable Power Control, or VPC. It's a small, compact Class 1 IR laser system designed from the outset to be very simple to operate, but very feature-rich. The main thing that's going on here with the IR VPC is that variable power control function that allows you to step from 0.2, 0.4 to 0.7 milliwatt. So in certain atmospheric and lighting conditions, with the standard 0.7 milliwatt Class 1 IR laser, especially at closer ranges, you can get some blooming that comes off the IR laser that obscures the target, or you can have the laser just might be a little bit too bright. So with the VPC, that allows you to step down the power to a medium power, which is the 0.4 milliwatt or the 0.2 milliwatt. So the power adjustment is actually done by holding down the paddles.
Okay. So like that?
Yep.
Oh, I can see it.
And it's also got both constant on and momentary functions.
Awesome. And obviously, the cameras might actually pick up IR, but I can't. So if anybody's watching and they're like, it's broke, it don't work, well, it's IR, right?
Yep. So it's an IR laser only. Again, on the one hand, it is a fairly simple device. On the other hand, we've done our best to keep the price at an affordable level, which is sometimes surprising for people in the night vision industry. Retail is going to be $269.99 on the Tor Mini IR VPC. As you can see, it's kind of very much at home, either on a pistol, PDW style weapons, PCCs, SBRs, AR pistols. So this will be available starting in the spring.
In the spring?
Yep, they're currently in production right now at Steiner. And we expect to be getting our first shipments in the spring.
Awesome. All right, so this is the Surefire XBL2 IRC, and it has like all the things in it. It says visible illuminator and visible laser and IR illuminator and IR laser. Like, is there anything? Does it have curb feelers?
So, not quite yet. But so the XBL2 IRC is a product that a lot of people have been waiting for a while now. We're very excited that it's finally ready. We're finally able to start accepting orders for it. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's basically a PEC 15, a full service multifunction aiming laser for a pistol. It's got the 400 lumen visible white light, as well as an IR illuminator, the green aiming laser, as well as the IR aiming laser. So these units, the restricted power versions have actually been in use by Special Operations Force already. The restricted power versions are not available for commercial sale. They're Class 3B IR lasers, so they're not considered eye safe. But Surefire has been quietly developing the IRC version, which is a Class 1 capable laser system, which is probably, honestly, better for a pistol and for the kind of ranges that you're going to be using a pistol for. And speaking to the guys at Surefire, they've said that they've been able in the IRC to integrate some functions that even the restricted power version that's shipping to military and law enforcement right now doesn't have.
Yeah, I mean, the average private user probably doesn't need to designate targets at 400 meters with their pistol.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, so how much is it?
So the retail price is going to be $13.50 for the XBL2 IRC.
Okay. When can I buy one?
They're supposed to be shipping right after SHOT Show.
Okay. So probably by the time half the people see this video, they might be able to get one.
Yep.
Awesome.
So one of the great things about the XBL2 IRC is that a lot of companies, when they make these laser systems for pistols, is they don't really go all the way in terms of the gear to support it. So obviously anybody that's going to be carrying a pistol for a living knows the importance of a good duty-ready holster. So Surefire has actually partnered with Safariland to produce an ALS holster, and also there are going to be level 3 variants as well to support the XBL2 IRC.
Okay. That's an inside the waistband appendix holster, right?
Yeah, of course.
That's a retention holster. It's designed for this light.
Yep.
That's a really good point because lots of companies, they produce their new gun or light or whatever, and they just, here you go, and then a few months later, maybe onesies and twosies holster companies get on there.
Yep.
And yeah. So I know this is early in the prototyping phase, so we're not sure exactly when it's going to hit the market and what the price range is, but I imagine it's probably going to be close to other Safariland products that are like that.
Right, so there's similar ALS holsters depending on what kind of belt loops or platform that you want it on, generally around $200 for their red dot sight capable holsters.
And within a few weeks, maybe a couple of months after this hits, we should be able to get some of these.
Most likely.
Awesome. That's really impressive. All right, so what is this thing?
So what you're wearing right now is an OpsCore Fast SF Carbon, which has been available for a little while, as well as the DTNVG dual tube night vision goggle system by Acton Black. But the big new thing here is, some of y'all may be able to notice, some of y'all may be able to see, is that it actually is equipped right now with the DIC from JAG Consulting. So the DIC stands for DTNVG, Integrated Cable Connector, and what it allows you to do is to replace the onboard battery compartment of the DTNVG with this power connector that will allow you to run it off of PVS 31 style BNVD battery packs, as well as Anvis battery packs using the appropriate cable connector. So another product that has been on the market for a little while now, but has never really been all that well known, all that available, is the Safran Optics 1 PAS 29 Alpha Kodi, which is a clip-on thermal imager. So what it is basically, this little device here is actually a thermal unit, and you can see it's got the little periscope, and it actually projects a thermal image into the image intensifier tube. So it allows you to use thermal and image intensification night vision at the same time.
Awesome. So this eye is amplified visible spectrum light. This eye is thermal IR.
Well, so the image intensifier tubes on in both sides will amplify both visible spectrum light as well as near IR spectrum light. This thermal unit here, you can see the lens for the thermal. It will collect that, turn it into a digital image, and then project it into the right side tube. Or you can put it on the left side. You can put it.
So this eye would be like a hybrid of both amplified visible light and thermal.
Right.
This one's visible.
Right.
Unless we put one on both sides.
So this is what's referred to as fusion technology. So obviously fusion technology has been around in military and some law enforcement use for quite a while. The PSQ-20 ENVG has been issued by the Army. The Fusion goggles and the Fusion Goggle Enhanced. The Marine Corps recently announced their adoption of the SBNVG, which is an E-Kodi device, a little bit more advanced than this Kodi here. We do have the E-Kodis available, but they're currently restricted only to military and law enforcement sales. But anyone, the end user community is going to fusion systems. Whether they're integrated fusion systems or whether they're clip-on systems like this, the end user community is going to fusion system, and it's a great capability. So obviously, traditional image intensification night vision has been like a superpower in the past. It allows you to see in the dark when you traditionally haven't been able to see, and it allows you to see when your enemy or when your quarry can't see as well.
So obviously, night vision of any type is somewhat expensive. There's a lot of departments and units out there that have a whole lot of money invested in their existing night vision equipment. This lets them add that fusion technology without having to buy all new units.
And that's one of the advantages of a Kodi type system as opposed to an integrated system like the ENVG, or the ENVG-Bs, is that, if something happens to the thermal system, something needs to be repaired, something happens with the software, again, it's uncommon. They're very reliable systems. This PAS-29 Alpha has been in use by US SOCOM for the better part of 10 years now. So it's not an unreliable system. That being said, it's a piece of technology.
Anything made by man can fail.
Right. And
grunts can break anything.
So you can remove it, you can replace it with another unit, and as you mentioned, it's a completely retrofittable technology. You can see here, it'll fit on the PVS-14, it'll fit on the DTNVGs, fit on the BNVD, PVS-31. Most systems out there have the ability to accept the Cody.
Awesome. Okay, so how much is it, and when can I buy it?
So TNVC has actually now become a direct distributor for Safariland Optics One. In the past, there have been some hurdles to going through that process in order to make the Cody more available to the commercial market and to small law enforcement agencies. So we've been able to work with Safariland Optics One to get the price down to about $5,500. So $5,495 is going to be retail on the PAS-29 Alpha, which I understand is not an affordable system per se, but it's significantly more affordable than it used to be, and it's significantly more affordable than comparable capabilities are going to be.
The bottom line is light amplification night vision is somewhat expensive, and thermal is a lot more.
Yep.
And you know what? Deal with it. It's not for the poors.
Yep.
All right, so what do we have here?
So what we've got here is a new housing system from Acton Black called the DTNVS. So it's an updated version, but really it's a redesigned version of the DTNVG, which has become extremely popular. Great goggle system. DTNVS offers similar capabilities, including the articulating pods that will shut off when you flip them up, but it does so at significantly lighter weight than the DTNVG, which, the original legacy DTNVG wasn't exactly what I would call a heavy night vision device. These DTNVS are coming in at 500 grams, depending on the type of lens systems that you use.
Okay. How much?
So the price right now is still kind of being worked out, but it's expected to be right around the price of a DTNVG.
Understandable. And do you have an estimate on when we'll be able to get them?
We're looking at sometime in the summer.
Okay. Awesome. What's this guy?
So this is our new Torch Pro Mark III. Obviously, we've had the Mark I and the Mark II. They've been extremely popular. We've done a lot of research on the best wavelengths for IR illuminators to get the maximum range, maximum clarity out of the IR illuminators. So the Mark III, as compared to the Mark II, is a good bit more powerful, and it also has a cleaner and more efficient beam, still running at 810 nanometers. But that extra power and increased efficiency ultimately means increased range.
Okay. All right, so how much?
So the price on the Mark III will be comparable to the Torch Pro Mark II.
Okay. Is it available now?
It's not available now, but we expect to be shipping them very soon. They're being produced as we speak.
Awesome. Okay, and what do we have here?
So this is kind of a super secret project that we've been working on. This is more of a teaser than a product announcement, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you there's no ETA and there's no price just quite yet, but we did want to kind of let people know that we're beginning the development of a user-centric night vision goggle system. It's going to be built and designed completely in-house. This is the TNVC Artemis BNVGE, so that stands for Binocular Night Vision Goggle Enhanced. It's going to be both ball detent for aviation and viz style systems, as well as dovetail compatible like many of the other systems on the market.
Okay, awesome. All right, so what do we have here? And is it named Vera?
It is not named Vera. What we've got here is the Boudou S thermal monocular and clip-on sight. It's designed and manufactured by Pixels on Target. It's an exciting new thermal weapons sight and clip-on. It's currently undergoing testing by a lot of very elite military units, both U.S. and international. So basically, it's a 9-ounce system in the S model. The S stands for short range, but it's more of a short to medium range system. It'll give you identification capabilities and detection capability. It'll give you detection capabilities out to 1,000 meters. It'll give you identification range and engagement ranges, up in the 300-meter range. It's a 9-ounce system, which is, extremely light for the capabilities. 12-micron system. Probably one of the most exciting thermal sights that I've seen in a long time. For those that are familiar with the old Oasis technology and the Skeeter, this is the next generation product. When we first heard about it, it was one of those things where we were kind of like, yeah, everybody's got a great pitch, but when you really get a chance to get behind it, and I wish that there were more opportunities, here at SHOT Show to really get the capabilities of the Boudou S, but it's a very impressive system, and we're very excited to be able to start carrying them.
Okay. When can I buy one?
So these should be available later this year, and they'll retail for somewhere around the $13,000 range.
Okay. Awesome. Augie, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
This stuff's badass. I want it all. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be at a lot of booths. Stay tuned. I love you.